Very good morning, South Africa. Baie goeiemôre, South Africa. Molweni Mzansi. And that's very, very correct. It is Wednesday, 9 o'clock, South African time. Our weekly scheduled date. I'm going to call it a date because that's exactly what it is. It's our weekly 9 o'clock live with Neil de Beer. Elke woensdag, soos ek beloof het, maak nie saak waar ek in die wêreld is nie, 9 uur gaan ek en jy elke liewe week gaan ons praat oor wat in ons land aangaan, waar ons staan, 'n paar feite sodat ons absoluut mekaar kan ondersteun. As promised a year ago, and we've never missed it. I think there were 1 or 2 occasions maybe where we missed it due to the fact of me traveling. But every single Wednesday, 9 o'clock in South Africa, or wherever I am, South African time, my moment, my couple of minutes with the people of South Africa. A very good morning, Molweni Mzansi, uhlapa inteta and nomslanje apa Mzansi, and what is going on in our country today. First and foremostly, let me welcome a couple of people. Kevin Paul, good morning. Tamarin, Rosie, Suzette, Pieter Vries, baie goeiemôre. Ons staan nou op so 339 mense live. Jennifer, good morning. Felicia, baie goeiemôre. En dan aan Alida, Barry Verster, hi Barry, hoe gaan dit? Letitia van Rooyen, KZN. Ek gaan 'n bietjie met julle praat oor die tour. I'll be speaking about my Blitz National Tour that starts this coming Monday, which I'm very excited about, and I'll just discuss the calendar with you today. And some very interesting things that I'd like to share with you regarding the UIM, the current political journey that we are on, and obviously the declaration of me standing for mayor of the city of Cape Town that went public last week, Friday. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that today, and I'd like you to share it and speak to as many as possible. We are currently on 470. Let's boost it. If you can share this with everybody, let us get the maximum people on board. As julle hierdie met, soos jy hierso sit, kan jy net onder op die knoppie druk en dit share met mense, sodat ons soveel mense as moontlik kan opkry. A couple of very important announcements. We've just hit 500 people joining us live today. Firstly, South Africa, we want to thank you. I can never thank you enough for supporting us, for standing with us, and for when we ask you to help us, that at the end of the day, you give freely. You stand with us with everything that we are doing. From my heart, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. We depend on you. We have no one else. And I will debate and discuss where we are and what we are preparing for with that we need support. Today, though, I'm sitting not in my office, not in my home, but with a very good friend of mine, Marius, who has been a friend of mine, well, Marius, since 19 years. Marius has a company that does a lot of great work, printing and sorting out so many creative things. And today we are here because he's helping and setting up a lot of stuff for you, the People's Movement, the People's Party, the UIM. But I committed, 9 o'clock, I am with you. South Africa, just an update. In this week, we all know that the Constitutional Court is awaiting to give its judgment on the possible postponement of the local government elections in this country. Ons almal weet dat die konstitusionele hof hierdie week moet uitspraak lewer of die munisipale verkiesings in hierdie land uitgestel gaan word of nie. The current date for our national municipal elections is set on 27 October. A very important date not because it's my birthday on the 27th, en ek wil vir Soekie Cyril sê baie dankie dat u die munisipale verkiesings op my verjaarsdag gedoen het. I want to thank Soekie Cyril, the president, who is outgoing in the future, for making the national municipal elections on my birthday. And what I said was, I need no gifts on that day in person. The gift I want on the 27th of October is a change and a move to a people's government. A government where people will go into council and carry the flag, the emblem, the moral, the respect, the dignity and the honesty that the United Independent Movement has adopted as its policy. It is critical that we know what will be happening this week, but I want to make it very clear to you, the UIM, the people of South Africa, that no matter if it is the 27th of October, the 29th of November, or next year, you cannot avoid the change that's coming. You cannot run away from justice. Now, the African National Congress is critically falling apart. The submissions that the ANC did to try and force the IEC for re-registration, for re-look, for review, was withdrawn by the ANC last night, and we are critically wanting to know why. Which means that 45 municipalities has not been registered by the ANC to contest. Suid-Afrika, as daar ooit 'n tyd was, waar ons hierdie draak en die gedrog van 'n ANC wat verander het, op die knieë kan hê, dan is dit nou. Ons weet dit. There has been never a better time to strike at the heart of this dragon than now. If the UIM does not muster and get as many people together, we will miss an opportunity where we can bring the light which you as the members of the UIM have fought for. So we know that they are in trouble, and we know that the EFF is waiting like a hyena after the lions have made their scrap. So we are waiting at this current moment and saying to those that are trying to stop, block change, you are busy playing Marco Polo in a bathtub, not in a swimming pool. And the problem with playing Marco and Polo in a bathtub, you're going to run out of space, because we're going to Marco and Polo you very soon. You can only run for so long. In God, in your support, a miracle has happened to the UIM. We have grown by 3 times in size. We have currently got more than 9,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, Neil de Beer. In our supporters page, we have grown to 15,000. On this Facebook page, 61,000. On Instagram, more than 3,000. And now on TikTok, more than 71,000 followers. 17,000 followers and 71,000 likes on what we're doing. So 71,000 mense op TikTok sê ons is reg, en amper 17,500 is nou followers van ons op TikTok. We are now breaking at this moment in time on followers and supporters and membership. Membership alone is now breaking 8,000 registered members in South Africa. South Africa, this only means one thing, that the people of this country is heartful and that they've decided to join a entity, a political party that represents you. It's your party. I can declare that in 8 metros of this country, we will have ward candidates. I started my mayoral bid for Cape Town, and the launch of my mayoral candidacy, my staan vir burgemeester van Kaapstad, word amptelik gelons Saterdag in Delft. My official mayoral campaign to run as mayor of the city of Cape Town to bring change will be launched on Saturday. Now, South Africa, I remain the president of the UIM and its national strategy. We have a phenomenal vice president in Fatima Abdul, who will be landing in Cape Town in the next couple of hours to again spend a week with us at head office. This entity, this dream of change started a year ago with a few, but that few become many. And what we now see is an absolute revolution of change in this country. And it is because of you and because of the light of God and the support that we've got. You cannot stop this UIM's forward motion anymore. The contesting of municipalities is the beginning of change. The fact that in this country we have got 80% of municipalities in disarray, more than 40 municipalities in this country under administration, means only one thing, that we sit with a government that has failed. A government led by a political party that cannot even pay their salaries. Now, South Africa, the reason why the ANC doesn't have money anymore is not just because of mismanagement, not just because pigs eating at a trough. Dis reg, ja. Varke wat eet by 'n trof. Jy sien, dames en here, die ding met 'n vark. Hy eet soos 'n vark, want hy het nie die breinkrag om te verstaan môre kry hy weer kos nie. En dit is waar die staat op hierdie oomblik staan. Dis 'n spul varke by 'n trof en hulle eet ons leeg. Nou jy weet wat doen jy met 'n vark? Nadat hy homself dik geëet het, dan raak hy ribbietjie. We've got to decide in this country that enough is enough. That they have eaten into our budgets, tax and treasury. And that the reason we don't get potholes fixed, lawns cut, sewage and water done properly, and the basic services is because they stole, mismanaged, misappropriated, and ate like pigs into our money. Nou hulle het eendag gesê, jy kan nie 'n vark met 'n mooi halssnoer bewys nie, want 'n halssnoer maak nie 'n mens nie. 'n Vark bly 'n vark. Suid-Afrika, dis tyd vir regheid praat. It's time to speak straight. Now, no matter who you are in this country and your past, we have now seen that the UIM rises. And the UIM rises not because of me. I am but your servant and your voice. I am just a representative to bring your light to the front. And it is fantastic to see how many people from different racial demographic and religion at the end of the day stand together. No matter if it's Christian, no matter if it's Hindu or Muslim of the Jewish faith. Faith is the thing that we stand for in this country. And never before have we stood together to unite as a united South Africa to change this country. South Africa, we cannot do it alone. Ons kan nie hierdie alleen doen. We need every community. Black, white, colored or Indian. I don't care who you are. I have spoken to you. We have been to Phoenix. We have been to Chatsworth. We have been to Bialar. We have been to Makassar, Mitchells Plain, Khayelitsha, Soweto, Nyanga, Langa, Brackenfell, and Durban, Bloemfontein, Gqeberha, Pretoria. We have been there, and all that we see is hope and change under the UIM. Now, we're not going to please you every day. We are not going to be able to do everything you want us to do. But what we will do is keep the faith, keep the light, and be South African, and proudly so. My bid for the mayorship of Cape Town is not anything else except to prove, as a leader, that we can change things, that we can turn it around. Because if we can make an impact as councillors, mayors and leaders today, can you imagine what we will do in 2024? People are saying, but Neil, why Cape Town? Cape Town is run well. Well, it's an utter lot of rubbish. You see, South Africa, you can't say to us that just because one area is fine, that the rest of Cape Town City, which lives in a bubble, is okay. This city doesn't work for you, man. I will prove it to you. I will take you into poverty in the next 3 weeks. The failing of governance. We mustn't lie to each other. And it starts in my hometown. It starts in my backyard. It starts with getting up in your backyard. And that's why we called for people to volunteer as councillors. Now I know that there might be another registration period to increase the volunteers of putting in more councillors. Do not stop sending your names to info@uimsa.org to contact Brett, B-R-E-T-T, Brett @uimsa.org. Get those emails to him. My people are online. We will now put our email addresses and, very important, our national WhatsApp number so that you can continue. If there's a new registration period that's going to open, we need your names to increase our capacity. Leadership is not ordained by a person's personal greed. Leadership is not about wanting to be the boss. Leadership is given to you by the people. When you become a leader, you become a servant. I sat yesterday morning with a great lady, a stunning woman, ek noem haar Deleen, a Mother Teresa. Deleen from Cape Town sat with me yesterday over a lunch and told me about history, about manners. Tannie Deleen, luister gou vir my. Jy's 'n verskrikking van 'n rots. Sy het al meer as 40 mense opgeteken. And she stays in Brackenfell. And I love her very much. But not only that, she made a donation to us yesterday for our tour, which when I saw, I was absolutely shocked because she's actually a pensioner, she's retired. But she loves us so much, she sees what we are doing, that she climbed in. Now, South Africa, yesterday, I also met with a coalition partner in the Western Cape, which we will declare at a later stage. But I can tell you, it's not the DA, it's not the ANC or the EFF whom we met yesterday. And that coalition partner is an effective partner in Cape Town, specifically Cape Town, who speaks the language of the majority citizens of Cape Town. Wat plat op die aarde in die flats is het. Wat plat op die aarde in die Kaapse plek is, man. And we have agreed to work together. I will stick to my statement as the president of the UIM on behalf of myself, my vice president Fatima and the NEC, that the decision of the UIM to never negotiate with the ANC and the current failing EFF remains. And should it be that we have to negotiate with them in a coalition to take power, we will not do so. We have spoken to many other parties, and unfortunately, the majority of those parties in the coalition talks with me refused to agree that they would also not negotiate with the people's enemy, the ANC and the EFF. And therefore, we cannot then form an alliance. It is not possible. And you will agree with me. Ons is hier om skoon te maak, nie om te mengel nie. We are coming to clean up, not to mingle. And that will remain our absolute mission in this country, to bring change. Now, on the matter of mayorship, on Saturday, I will be launching my mayoral campaign for the city of Cape Town in Delft. Why Delft? Well, Delft needs us. Delft needs the people on the ground. And we have great people there. Unbelievable people. Eugene and the guys in Delft wanted us there. And I will be launching my mayoral campaign on Saturday, 10 o'clock in Delft. And there's a couple of surprises of people that will be joining me there in an alliance. South Africa, to make change, you have to change yourself first. I have done so. I am still doing so. So tomorrow, we will be launching an email address. That email address will be active as of tomorrow morning. And that email address will be an address where you, as Cape Townians, can send me your tips, can send me your opinion, and can send me your request of how, in unity, we can change the city of Cape Town. For the first time ever, the mayor of Cape Town, incumbent myself, will ask the people of Cape Town to help me run and change everything in this city. So watch out for that banner, watch out for that advertising tomorrow. I will need to ask the citizens of Cape Town to email me, send me your ideas, so that we can change it. Change the city. A city that is actually two cities. A city for the rich and a city for the poor. Under my mayoralship, there will be no more two cities. Under my mayoralship, we will for once have a united Cape Town, a true mother city. And my slogan is very, very easy. Cape Town, we're going back to work. Kaapstad, nou begin ons werk. And I will not accept anybody that will be in the city of Cape Town's halls, that will be working for the city, that will not give 100%. I will be making my statements as the new city mayor very clear. If you don't work, I'm going to fire you. If you are not at work, I'm going to fire you. And if you don't serve the people, I'm going to fire you. Because when you get to the office, I've already had my second cup of coffee. We will not have a city. We will not have councillors that don't deliver. As jy gaan gatskuur onder my bewind, dan is daar net een plek vir jou. En dit is of jou bedankingsbrief, of ek gaan jou pos. Because the people of Cape Town, the people of this country, deserve more. And I will be monitoring this personally. I don't care if I don't sleep for 5 years. I don't care. Because we are dealing with people that have nothing. And if I can get it right in the city of Cape Town to bring our three racial entities of black, white and color together, then maybe we'll stop saying black, white and colored, but we will be saying South African. It doesn't help that you fight gangsterism. You must solve gangsterism. By totally fighting against gangsters with war on the street does not stop the next generation of gangsters. You must start at grassroots level to provide programs, initiatives, jobs and life skills to stop the new generation of gangsters happening. It's too late to start worrying about illegal immigrants, Mr. Mashaba, in your city. You should have stopped them at the border. Wow, what a great idea. Shut the borders of the country. Now, if you're a person in this country that is a foreigner and you have a job, you're adding to the services of South African citizens, you're earning money and you're paying tax. Paying tax in your own capacity or buying goods in this country and therefore paying VAT, you're welcome. But if you are an illegal immigrant in this country, you are peddling drugs, and you have got nothing to do in this country, then I'm declaring it, you're going home. Jy gaan huis toe. You are not welcome here. We want people that contribute to this country. I am not going to fall for the trick like Mr. Mashaba, who's building the total Joburg mayoral campaign about firstly kicking out illegal immigrants. I think what you should be doing is fixing potholes, giving toilet, sanitary and water and human dignity back to the people that have none. Secondly, to stop taxing the citizens of this country to death. And thirdly, creating jobs. You see, out of the 59 billion budget per year in Cape Town, maybe if you use that money on buying local and creating more work for local, you won't have a problem. People that have waited for houses for more than 20 years will now be serviced because it's utterly disgusting. And that's as simple as that. And finally, under my mayorship and under every council in the UIM, I will declare a zero tolerance on crime. And when I'm speaking zero, I am speaking zero. If you flick your cigarette butt, or drop a paper, or stand with your thingy against a vibrecrete wall, you will be hit with the power of law. Because if you cannot have law, there shall be no order. And it starts with you. It starts with us. It starts at your house. We can clean up our city. We can provide human dignity. And that's what South Africa needs. We need a new plan. We need a new vision. Because what we were given in the so-called NDP Plan 2030 is utter rubbish. Dis gemors. BEE is over. It's now NEE. Nee. Nee vir B. It's going to become NEE. National Economic Empowerment, not black economic empowerment. Every person in this country, no matter your racial demographic, must now be empowered so that we can have a united economy, where black and white can stand together and have an equal opportunity. Want wragtig, if you can't get it done in 25 years, I don't know if you can get it done in 50. So it's a change of attitude. It's a change to go back to bloody basics. Want jy kan net so lank sit en kyk hoe moer iemand 'n pannekoek op. Want jou fancy gegooiery en jou fancy geflippery maak nie 'n pannekoekie. Dis die deeg, my broer. So we are tired of sitting for 27 years and seeing someone try to be fancy flipping of a pancake. It's about the mixture. So South Africa, let's get back to work. Let's go back to basics. Let's bring respect, manner, humility, dignity, and honesty back to our politics. And the only way we can do this is clean them up. Clean them up. Skoenmaker, hou jou by jou lese. Engineers will now go into engineering departments. Accountants will be going into finance. Police will be going to manage police. Doctors will be in control of health. Phew! What a great theory. Whoa. So what you're actually saying is that a man that drove in a police van, worked in a charge office, went credibly through the ranks, will now be in command of the police. What a theory. Yes. Skoenmaker, hou jou by jou lese. We will not accept political appointments. It is political appointments that drown this country into mud. It's time we put color behind us. It is time that we put professionalism in front of us. Business must be run by business and supported by people in government to make business easier. Government should not be in competition with business, and therefore we will need to sell, dismantle, and take our SOEs private. Cape Town City can be independent of the grid. Yes, with solar, hydro and wind power. We don't need Eskom. And I don't call it Eskom, I call it Esgaan. Want niks kom by Eskom nie. Hulle gaan net. Wel, dan moet hulle waai. Companies like Sasol, companies like Mosgas, Denel, SIA, which you already stole from us, will be privatized, and opportunities to citizens to create wealth through generating power and supplying it to the grid, that will happen. The textile business of this country will be revived, and China will be renegotiated with. South Africa, keep it simple, Simon. You don't need to be a genius to change this country. All you need to do is look after the people of this country. And that is what the UIM is intending to do. I look forward to my national tour. It reminds me of a letter I received from a retired professor that lives in. And this retired professor said to me, Neil, jy moet 'n stadsaal president wees. And I contacted Professor Leroux the minute I got this voice that I must be a town hall president. And I said to him, Prof, what do you mean? And he said, Neil, get in your car and go town hall to town hall. Reis stadsaal tot stadsaal and go speak to the people. It is clear that as the president of the UIM, I am the only political leader currently in this country that has traveled, spoken, and met nationally the people on the ground. Not the DA, not the ANC, not the EFF, not the Freedom Front, not COPE. No one has driven like I have in a car to 9 and 10 cities in 2 weeks. No one has driven like I have. From Cape Town to Ladybrandt, to Witbank, Klerksdorp, Germiston, Bloemfontein, Veldrift, St. Helena Bay in Cape Town. Bring them on. I know what the people of this country want because I met the people of this country personally. I listened to their cry. I listened to their hope. That's how you run a country. You don't sit in an office. You meet the people. Good or bad, it doesn't matter. You cannot run a country without listening to the people of such country. So hereby I announce again a massive, exciting blitz tour through our country next week. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tiring. but in God, it's going to be sa.org to find out where I will be talking, who I will be meeting in Buffalo City. And in Port Elizabeth, you can be very next day, the 7th of September, I will be arriving in East London, in Buffalo City. Lorna is busy setting up great meetings, great interviews in East London for Tuesday next week. Then the very next day, on Wednesday, I will be in Umtata. And in Umtata, I will be meeting His Majesty, Boyalakaya Dalanyebu, the King of the Abatembu, His Royal Highness, who is currently the King of the Mandela clan. And it will be a great honor to spend some time in Umtata, in the Transkei, with my people as well. My traditional background is my adoption there by the Abatembu people, hence my name, Skansonso, and my royal title that was given to me by His Royal Highness, King Zwelabanzi, as Zanetemba, which was my royal title. I look very much forward to be Wednesday in the rural areas and in the city of Umtata. Then on Thursday and Friday next week, I'm blessed to be re-invited to KwaZulu-Natal. So next week, Thursday and Friday, I will be in Durban. I will be revisiting Phoenix, Chatsworth, having meetings in Durban, and also speaking to my current chairman, Jay Naidu, over there, and meeting all my great people. And yes, going to find that great bunny chow again. Then on Saturday, the 11th, our massive event that will be taking place in Witbank, and our great lady Sher Kruger handling a massive event in Witbank, Mpumalanga, next week Saturday. And then from Witbank, we will then be moving to Mangaung, the Vrystaat, Bloemfontein, and we will be there from the 12th to the 15th, speaking to business leaders, speaking to ward councillors, and speaking to people that want to meet us. So daar's ons skedule, PE, East London, Umtata, Durban, Witbank, and Bloemfontein, all of that in 10 days. We ask now just a favor. The total budget that we need for this trip was accumulated at about 50,000 Rand. We are 20,000 after yesterday in budget. And again, I want to thank Delian and her team and her people for that gracious donation. South Africa, we need money. We need your support to fulfill this tour. With God's grace, people have now come in and asked us to render accommodation, but we need to ensure that we have money for fuel, money for our security, and we want to print a couple of big banners, some stickers for our rented vehicle. We are graciously being given a combi so that we can actually all go in one, but that cost is approximately 9,500 Rand, graciously though, from Lionel and the guys, so we need to fulfill that obligation. So please, if anybody is available to help us, we need to raise that 30,000 Rand in the next 4 or 5 days. We will give you absolutely advertising so that you can stand with us and be recognized. So please dig deep, speak to your people. We need to take our sound systems with, we need to put trailers, and it's well worth it. So we're asking anybody that can help us, please help us. We have already raised now 20,000 Rand towards our 50,000 Rand budget. Our banking details for our NPC We will put it up here. Kom nou Suid-Afrika besighede. And especially if you are in those cities, let's get the business guys behind us. We need to raise that 30,000 rand within the next 3-4 days so that we can complete the required 50. The total tour cost is about 120, but because of the massive donations and the massive supply of accommodation, the great support of our people in those towns, we only need operating capital, and that is for our fuel, and that is for the food and the trips and the rental of our vehicle. Let's dig deep. I have always asked from above and for you, and I have never not received. And that's exactly why we love you. So South Africa, there we are. That's who we are. That's where we're going to act. And it's time. It's time that we take them on. It's time that we make a change. And you are the light of that change. I want to thank again everybody that donates to us. I want to thank every one of you that have decided to dig deep in your money and help us. Because there's only one way that we are going to take our country back, and that is through the love of God, your hearts and your soul. Mag die Here se God se rykste seën oor hierdie land Suid-Afrika skyn vandag. May God's greatest hand of peace and acknowledgement currently be bestowed over this Republic of South Africa. I look forward seeing you town for town. As julle weet ons is op pad. Kyk uit vir ons man. Ons het 'n kombi wat ons nou gaan hier, as julle ons kan help met daai rande. Ons gaan daai ding bestieker en beplak. So ja, julle kan ons kyk al met die pad wat ons saam gaan. Kom groet ons. Skud my hand. Want ek is baie lief vir julle. Dit is julle wat my aan die gang hou. I have my days of being down, and then you just pick me up. And for that, I cannot in words say thank you enough. So God bless you today. And just quickly, where's Marius? Marius, for me. I want to introduce you just finally to a great, great man. This is a brother of mine. This is Marius. Marius, what's your business name?
Bmg Branding Solutions.
So Bmg Branding Solutions in Cape Town. What's your website?
www.bmgbranding.co.za.
So bmgbranding.co.za. This young man is currently, we are sitting in his workplace, and he is busy printing our posters. He's busy printing our pop-ups out of his heart. So if there's anybody that can support this man, bmgbranding.co.za. Help this man, because this man is standing up for the UIM. Yeah, he does business with all other entities, but today he's given me his time, and I love him very much. And Marius, you're a great man. Sorry for the loss of your brother recently. And this family out here is your family, and we love you very much. So a shout out, give us some hearts, give us some love for Marius and his team that are sitting here. I think you've heard the noise at the back. They're printing our posters, they're printing our pop-up banners that we are taking across the country. And Marius, I can't say thank you enough to BMG Branding Solutions, and these guys are great, so you can help them, support them if you can. Great business in Cape Town, and he's doing this out of his heart. This is his participation to us, and we'll be working a lot with Marius in the future to obviously keep his business going. Ek het vir Marius gesê, ons kan miskien nie vandag betaal nie, maar met julle seëning, met ons fundraising oor die hele land, kan ons ook 'n bietjie dan vir Marius support en die mense wat opstaan. Weereens baie dankie. Ek gaan nou terug werk toe. We are going to have a hell of a day today. I hope that every one of you has a blessed day in UIM. Thank you we had more than 1,200 people on this. Remember, help us with that tour donation. And if you are in those cities that we are coming through, Port Elizabeth, East London, Durban, We are trying to stop over at Pietermaritzburg. Witbank on the 11th, kom kyk vir ons. And then finally Free State. If you want to see me, if you want to come say hello, soek hy drukkies, soek hy handskit. Kom nou manne, kom ons staan saam. And we ask all the people. And remember, our women. It is Women's Month that's just gone past. To every one of our stunning lionesses. Gender-based violence under a UIM government will receive zero tolerance. A country that does not respect its women and its children does not deserve the status of a country. Let us look after our women. Hierdie vrouens van die UIM is leeu's. Julle staan al saam met my van 'n jaar gelede. Dis die vroumense, ons dames, ons dogters, ons susters, wat eerste opgestaan het en vir hulle mans gesê het, kyk gou Jan, as jy nie hierdie ou support nie, dan kry jy nooit weer kos nie. En toe moes die mans maar luister. So, een van ons great ouens, Chris Jonk, Chris, wat nou 'n NEC lid is, hy's gestraf deur sy vrou, want hy het aan mekaar gesê, ek luister nie na hierdie ou nie. En eendag toe gaan sit hy maar in die garage op sy eie, en toe kyk hy maar vir my, en kyk waar's Chris vandag. So aan Karen Jonk, dankie dat julle vir my Chris gegee het. En aan elke persoon in hierdie land, wat nou saam met ons staan, baie dankie. Baie dankie. Die Here seën julle. I will see you soon. I will keep you updated today and tomorrow and Friday on that request of finance. I will make sure that we keep you updated when we've hit that target. A couple of weeks ago, we wanted to raise 80,000 rand so that we could enter the elections, and we raised that in 5 hours. It's a blessing, and it's an anointment. So let us try today. Let us get that funding in, and let's get the tour on the go. Look forward to seeing you on Saturday. By the way, I'm being interviewed on Friday morning by ENCA News. We will be on ENCA News running from Friday to Saturday every hour on ENCA News channel with an interview regarding my mayoral candidacy and also the UIM. So yeah, we're going on TV. This morning we were on radio, interviewed on a live stream, and Deirdre did a nice interview, but we didn't speak about politics. Ons het 'n bietjie gepraat oor mens. En ek wil afsluit daarmee. We should stop being human doings. It's time to be human beings. If you are a human first, then how can we not fix this world? Look after yourself. South Africa first, but in God, always number one. Lekker bly, praat later.